Rick Hahn has been wielding the axe. He cut Danks, Latos, and now Jimmy Rollins. And maybe Shields is in a little bit of trouble until he straightens his act out. Let's flash back this time. We'll go back to Don Paul, Pride of the Southwest Side. And we'll also flash back to a guy who was supposed to be a big slugger, Jeff Leifer, this week on the Spotlight. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. It's the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Great repairs at 108th and Kedzie. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You should come to the Cove for Benkowski Trivia Wednesday, June 29th, 8 p.m. Great people, great game, great drinks. 1750 East 55th Street. I hope to see you over there. You've got to get to the Sock. Live Benkowski Trivia. Alternate Thursdays, 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. See you there. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. You've got to get to Lulu's because they've got it all. Italian beef, hot dogs, burgers, chicken, gyros, fish, salads, subs, ribs, and a lot more. At Taylor and Ogden, 2200 West, you got to check out Lulu's. They got everything. Snappers Seafood and Chicken has come to Chicago, and what an extensive menu. Tilapia, perch, catfish, shrimp, conch from the Miami Connection, it's so fresh, crab, Philly steak, and they also have grilled foods at 115th and Western. A massive menu. I've just touched on some of it. Oysters, you name it. You got to get the Snappers at 115th and Western. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. We're back in the spotlight. We're talking Rick Hahn, a very compelling and interesting speaker who happens to be the GM of the White Sox and is in the absolute epicenter of wheeling and dealing, trying to improve this roster and take advantage of that great first month that put the Sox in contention, and albeit a possible 4-team race, reminiscent of the 1967 American League race, which wasn't a divisional race, it was pre-divisional. And the White Sox, Detroit, Minnesota, and Boston went into the final week of the season in a virtual tie. Didn't work out so well for the White Sox that year, but there's no reason with all these months left that it can't work out better in 2016. So let's take it away with Rick Hahn, talk a little bit about potential wheeling and dealing, things they're looking at, and just good front office stuff.
How close to ready is Tim Anderson?
Say it again?
How close to ready is Tim Anderson?
You'll know when you see him walk in that clubhouse door. It was, I think, about a month or 5 weeks ago, I was asked by a national reporter if we were concerned about Tim Anderson. And now, rightfully so, people are asking about whether he's ready. It shows you how quickly things can turn, and when guys start to push the time frame, it comes pretty quickly. Again, our belief from the start of the offseason was, okay, Tim's been a level-to-level guy. He's performed very well at each level. But in all probability, he's going to have to spend a year at Charlotte. In our minds, we tried to remain open-minded and thought that the good ones have a way of sort of forcing the time frame, and Tim's certainly one of the good ones in our mind. And so far, he's done his part to sort of force up that time frame. Ultimately, when Tim arrives in Chicago, it's going to be because we feel that he's ready to help make us better, not because of anything that's going on in this clubhouse, more about what Tim's capable of doing at the big league level. So we'll pick that time accordingly.
Rick, do you like the fact James gets a good test in his first outing for you against a good team and a duel against one of the better pitchers in the league?
You know, I think that is good for him. I think there'll be some level of excitement around his debut, and certainly having a tough opponent, just probably brings out the best in everybody. It's funny because I spend a lot of time sitting right here harping about how tough the American League is, and that there really are no let-ups, and you make the right point that his first opponent's a tough one, and it happens to be a National League team. So,
did Carlos's discomfort happen during Friday night, or was it since Friday night?
He mentioned something over the weekend in Detroit. It was after his start. He said something to Hermie on either Saturday or Sunday. My days are a little blurred together right now. I think it might have been Sunday. But we got him looked at, examined yesterday here in Chicago, and X-ray, MRI, everything. And again, this is a conservative move and not atypical given how we've handled some young starters in the past.
Extended into his arm, you said?
Yeah, it was in his neck, and he felt sort of a discomfort going down into his biceps. So that's why we jumped on it, made sure we got images of the neck and the arm and everything. And again, he wants to pitch.
Rick, we get a guy.
He's not going to.
You made the move with Jerry Sands. What do you want to see from your bat? How do you want to set that up? Are you going to maybe change something, in terms of the sort of player you want coming out there?
Look, Jerry, and again, we're a little short-handed again right now because we're going to be carrying 6 starters with one of them not starting right now, which is part of the reason Jerry had to be designated to accommodate the pitching staff. Jerry never really got the chance, unfortunately, based on the schedule and the matchups, to get into a flow. He's a guy who historically has hit lefties very well. We just, I guess we have all the left-handed starters, so we didn't really face too many along the way, and he never really got into a rhythm. But he's going to help someone, I believe, off their bench facing lefties. If he happens to clear waivers and wind up in Charlotte, it could well be us later in the year, or someone may pick him up in the coming days.
Rick, James Shields, you faced him over the years and pitched against him in the playoffs, but when you are in that time between wanting to make a deal and making a deal, how much background checking do you do? Do you talk to people about him? What kind of guy
we do a lot of that. It usually starts inside your own clubhouse with guys who have played with a player before we go out and acquire him. Had a lot of conversations with Avila about Austin Jackson, for example, or Todd Frazier about Matt Latos. You guys probably know, or maybe some of you don't, that Shields is Aaron Rowan's cousin. So we've known a lot about James Shields' makeup for a while, through Aaron and through others they both know. And obviously have seen him firsthand, both in the division and in the league for a number of years. So we're not real surprised about how he was when he walked through the door today, or how enthusiastic he was when I talked to him over the weekend.
Is it good for him that maybe he doesn't come in a meeting? He's, you've got a couple of guys already established.
I think so. I think so. We're just, and we are, I think every guy named James is known as Big Game, but he historically has been Big Game James, and if he continues to be that, that's fantastic. But from our standpoint, we're just looking for him to be another guy in the rotation, another dependable guy every 5th day is going to pitch us hopefully deep in ball games and give us a chance to win.
I'm working on a story in the future. Can you tell me how Jay Bruce is going to fit in?
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212.
Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family dentist, Lawrence Ferland, DDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the family dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage. We're back in the spotlight, and I'm sure by the time you see this, Big Game James will have started a game for the White Sox, or two. And regardless of the results of those individual games, or maybe as a byproduct of those, you'll be making a value judgment about his worth to the Southside Ball Club. But certainly the timing of the deal was excellent in the sense that this team needed some kind of boost or shakeup. And adding a veteran pitcher would seem to have some positive effect, if not calming effect, or realize that the front office is still in belief this team is a playoff team. They're going to spend money on it. So, with no further ado, let's part two of Big Game James Shields, the White Sox starting pitcher, cousin of Aaron Rowan.
Yeah, I mean, I never wanted the coach to take the ball from my hands. I mean, from the very beginning of the game, I always think about throwing 9 every time out, no matter what, and obviously I know part of the game, once you hit 100-plus pitches, it's almost time to go. But, I'm a competitor. I want to do it for my team. I want to do it, I want to do it for the city. I just love competing. That's why I love this game. And Joe will tell you, definitely, he had the right hook going before he even got out of the dugout quite a bit, so.
James, tomorrow night you're already on the mound for the White Sox. What do you think's going through your mind thinking about that first game for the Sox?
I'm excited. To be back in the American League. I've played in the American League pretty much my whole career. And so, even though we're facing a National League team, which is kind of ironic. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'm not gonna, emotional-wise, I'm not gonna be too high, too low. I think if I was a rookie or barely in the league, I think I would probably be a little more emotional, but I'm going to go out there and just do exactly what I do in my same routine. So.
We'll see how the rotation shakes out otherwise, but just to be a part of a rotation with Sale, Quintana, what do you think about the group as a whole?
Oh man, this group is, they got something special going on, 1 through 5. I think I'm just got to be a part of it. I think I fit in well here. I think that we can all feed off each other, which I think is the main thing. Is every starting rotation, every good starting rotation I've ever been a part of, we all fed off each other and we all supported each other. So I think that's what's going on here, and I'm glad to fit in.
The trade rumors started the weekend before. Were you really aware of what was going? Like, you catch those? Was it in the back of your mind? Anything like that?
I saw it. I saw the trade rumors going on, but it doesn't bother me. Like I said, I've been in the game a long time. I think I get traded every year as far as the media goes. I've only gotten traded once in my career before this time, so. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me. Look, I go out here and I get my work in every day. I work very hard to be able to post every 5 days, and I really take pride in that. So, there's nothing else I can do besides just pitch.
How do you feel about where your stuff is at now compared to 4 or 5 years ago? People may look at the record, but you were playing with a little different team the last couple of years than previously too.
Yeah, I think my stuff-wise, I think I'm fine. I think I'm good. I think obviously my last game wasn't very good. And sometimes I've had a few of those hiccups in my career, but I feel pretty good. Body-wise, I feel great. I'm going to go out there and compete.
You mentioned your cousin. What role did he play when growing up and helping you kind of down this path?
Aaron played a huge role. He drug me out to Las Vegas, and we worked out together for about 7 years, and he showed me how to become a big leaguer and how to work. There wasn't too many guys in the big leagues that worked harder than my cousin. So, as one thing that he will do is he'll run into any wall for you, as you guys know. you know, and he's just a bulldog out there, man. He's a professional. You know, he goes about his business the right way, and he taught me a lot in my career, and I definitely, you know, I owe a lot to him.
Did you get on dirt bikes with him?
I did talk to him.
Yeah.
I did
tell
talk
you
to
what
him.
to expect here? Or?
Yeah, I mean, he loves it here. Chicago's, you know, is one of his favorite cities. Obviously, he won a World Series here, and he said, I'm going to have a blast here and just enjoy the moment, you know. And that's what he said, enjoy the moment, enjoy the crowd, enjoy the fans, and enjoy the city, and everything will be good.
Did you do a lot of dirt biking with him?
I did not do any dirt biking with him. I think I've ridden a dirt bike once in my life, and it was like a little 50, so it wasn't, you know, I did more skateboarding than I did dirt bike riding, so you don't have to worry about me dirt bike riding.
Is the Pro company going national?
No, I think it's going to stay in San Diego as of right now, but you know, I'm a big believer of whole body cryotherapy for sure. There's no doubt about it. It helps me recover. I mean, especially the older I get. I mean, you know, you got to find ways to recover your body, and I think it's helped me out. So.
Does the band come here?
No, it's not going to come here. But who knows? We might get in the clubhouse. We'll see.
Have you felt welcome here so far?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's been great. Everyone's been great. I mean, you know, everyone's welcomed me with open arms, and you know, they're ready to go. So.
Thank you.
Welcome.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery, too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski.
You've got to get to the Sock Live Minkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great game, great people. Check out the Sock. I think you'll be glad you did when you go to my trivia game every other Thursday. 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. The Irish Legend, great pub and restaurant, 8933 South Archer in Willow Springs. They have great food, great drink, outdoor patio, great staff, open at 11 a.m. daily. They have wraps, they have burgers, they have sandwiches, soups, salads, you name it, at the Irish Legend on Archer.
We're back in the spotlight at New Comiskey Park, and it's time to talk serious baseball and a rejuvenation of summer, I guess you could say. Summer is officially here. The Bulls are finished, and as great as they played, it's time to concentrate on the summer game. And we're talking with Don Paul about the White Sox, who have really come on in the last few weeks, and a lot of things have gelled for your club. It's got to be a good overall feeling. You guys seem very loose.
Yeah, it's good. Like I say, it's funny. It seems like summer has started now. The Bulls are done. Now everybody's turning their attention to baseball. You know, we weren't playing all that well for the first part of the season here. We were hanging around first place, but we weren't playing as well as we should at all. And it kind of was overlooked because of all the Bulls stuff going on, so nobody really noticed or criticized us or anything really. But now the focus is probably on us because we are right up there near first place, in first place right now. And yeah, everything's been going pretty well lately. We won, 4 in a row or something like that, but we're playing good baseball now. We need to keep it up.
Your pitching staff has been under extreme scrutiny, I guess you could say, and a lot of it has to do with youth, but also with a couple of guys maybe who didn't respond, and then a couple of injuries. some unusual situations. There was some speculation for a while that maybe you would come in and give a stab at some starting. And, personally, I rooted for it because I would have liked to have seen you gotten the shot, even if you were a six-and-fly guy. But what about that?
Maybe you were the one that started the rumors then, because that's all it was rumors, and the only people that talked about it were the media, really, the newspaper and the talk show people, really. I don't think anybody in the White Sox really seriously considered it. So, sure, it would have been nice to start. I would love to start if they wanted me to start, but I love pitching and relief too. It doesn't matter to me really where I'm pitching. I just want to really be the best player I can be at whatever role they want me to do. I just want to be the best at that. And if it's long relief or middle relief or closer or starter, whatever it is, I just want to do it.
Well, certainly the way Jack and Wilson and Alex have pitched early on, they haven't given you a lot of room, for activity. But if we could pick an average kind of Don Paul performance in 1993, describe the number of innings and what got done.
There is no average performance for me this year. It's funny because I've been used in so many different roles, all in relief, but I've had 5 and a third inning stints, a couple of those. I've come in, pitched one batter in the 8th inning, pitched the 9th inning. I've warmed up in the first inning of a game, ended up getting the save in the game. So, like I said, I've been used all over the board. Anything but starting, but I've been all over the board. So there is no average outing for me, it seems like now.
And what about that? It would seem like that would provide extra wear and tear on the arm, but you haven't had any problems.
No, everything's pretty good, really. I just go out there every night with the attitude that just be ready at any time, really. Be ready from the first inning almost all the way till the end of the game. And that's the attitude I take, and I try to stay ready all the time.
As an observer of the lineup and somebody who's seen some excellent power in the last few weeks and also some interesting manipulations at the top of the lineup, what are your thoughts about the way the guys have hit and about, see if we're comparing notes on the same surprise guy in the lineup who has responded for you so well?
The surprise guy? Well, at the beginning it was Joey Cora, I know, was it? Okay. Yeah, Joey was really a spark for us. Definitely at the start of the season, he got us going with a couple of injuries that we had and all, and he's still doing a really good job over there at second base for us. But overall, it seems like the hitting was really, really hot, or else just kind of so-so. And we go through those streaks of really good and so-so, and that's part of the reason why we struggled a little bit. But we've got a great hitting ball club. We know that. We've got some great talent there, and it's tough to stay consistent. That's what we got to do to win this thing. We've got to stay consistent. Not only the hitting, but also there's going to be some slacking off in the pitching too. The bullpen failed a little bit a couple times, but it's all going to happen. But the consistency overall for the whole season is what's going to be the key.
To wrap up, it would seem that the toughest times, if you can call it that, would have been over for the White Sox. You weathered the storm of a couple of bad weeks there and stayed in the thick of the race, and also injuries, most significantly. And now the team's healthy, and it would seem that if those tough times are by, that would put you in a pretty nice position to go on the kind of roll that could maybe open a little distance now.
Yeah, it's true. We had a couple of tough times where we lost a bunch of games, and we've had some injuries and guys not playing all that well. I don't know what it was, why we were actually losing, but and they're still going to have some tough times ahead. Karkovic is still out for a few more weeks still, and it's a big injury to us too. But we've handled it so far, obviously with a lot of help from the rest of the teams in the division. It's one of the few years we can say we're glad we're not in the Cubs division or any of the other divisions, really. So we're fortunate with what's going on in our division right now to be right in the race right now, so we're happy where we're at. Well, we're content. Happy, but not satisfied or content at all.
Hey, they want to knock it up a few notches and get toward that 600 kind of baseball mark that teams like to hover at and know that is enough to win an American League West. We'll be watching for Don Paul going 1/3 or 6 1/3, somewhere in between. Yeah. And we'll be watching for that in the hot months of July and August. We'll be back with more in the Spotlight.
You've got to get to Jack's, 3325 Ridge Road in Lansing. Trivia every Tuesday at 7 p.m. A very intense competitive game. Any of half a dozen teams can win. You've got to get to Oliver's for my trivia game, 6100 West 159th Street. And I'll be there next Thursday, June 23rd at 7 p.m. It's a fun game, great food, great drink, great everything at Oliver's. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. The Wise Owl has pizza, pork sliders, Cuban, carrot soup, elote burgers, taco salads, and more. Great cocktails and bartenders. Van Buren and Racine. Get to the Wise Owl. You've got to get to Del Sur Mexican Restaurant. Open for lunch and dinner daily. Shrimp, tilapia, salmon, steak, chicken dishes, you name it. It's all there at 46th and Halsted. Great stuff at Del Sur Mexican Restaurant. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. I was going to bring up a name from the past, but it might be well beyond what you can remember. It was a guy named Don Money. Played for the Milwaukee Brewers, probably before your time.
I think I had one of his cards, but I don't remember him.
Yeah, he did stuff like that, including DH, and carved out a pretty good latter part of his career into his 30s doing that. And that does bring up a point. When you were a kid growing up, where did you live, for the benefit of our TV viewers, and who were you a fan of, either team-wise or player-wise?
I grew up in LA area, and I was a huge Dodger fan. You know, I still pull for them. You know, I could do that because they're in the other league. So.
Especially when they're playing the Cubs, right?
Yeah, I saw them pull out a pretty good one today, actually. Well, I think I didn't see the last inning, but they did pretty well. Anyway, so I love the Dodgers, and Steve Garvey was a favorite of mine. But away from the Dodgers, I was Don Mattingly, liked him a lot. Wade Boggs, guys like that.
So you were kind of maybe sensing early on you were a professional hitter.
Well, I always loved baseball, and I always wanted to play baseball, and luckily it's turned out all right, and I'm doing what I want to do.
What about this 2002 White Sox team, makeup-wise, roster-wise, attitude-wise, makes you think that you will be there in August and September?
As far as the team goes,
yeah.
We have a good all-around team. We just no doubt we can hit, and the group of guys together is it's a good group for as far as chemistry goes, and we just need to keep on track and keep heading in the same direction we're going.
To wrap up, the young pitchers seem to always provide a key spark. We know where the hitting is, like you said. Is there one pitcher that is beginning to emerge, or you've seen that is showing that spark that you think might be the surprise young pitcher of 2002?
I'd have to say right now, as of his last couple starts, it'd have to be Garland. He was dominant his last two starts against the Red Sox and the Yankees, two of the best teams out there. And he's coming along, and what you got to remember about him is I think he's 22 years old. That's ridiculous. He got ridiculous. 2 or 3 years in the big leagues, and he's that young. He's got so much room for improvement, and he's already a good pitcher. So he's going to be scary in the years to come.
Well, we'll be watching for not only the Garland emergence, but Jeff, to see some more ABs, because we're looking for late inning situations where you can come up with some men on base and do something in the gaps.
All right.
You've been watching the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Perfect Pitch located at 108th and Kedzie. Great repairs, great people. Lansing Floral, 708-474-1212.
Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch, very competitive pricing. Call 708-396-1010.